Hi, I'm Phil Rude, and I'm an illustrator, comic book artist, and sometimes writer. Today, I'm going to be inking a piece that's on 17 by 11 Canson Bristol, smooth Bristol. It's penciled in blue lines, so of course it won't show up very well in the video. And I'm inking it with Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star Matte India ink and a Hunt 102 Crow Quill, along with a Kuretake brush pen that I also have loaded up with Dr. Martin's finest. And I am pretty sure I pick up a couple of micron fine liners at a couple points in here. And just to throw my usual reminder out there, if anyone from Dr. P.H. Martin or Canson is watching this video, I am available for sponsorship if you want to partner with me. This is a joke, but only if you're laughing. If you're taking me seriously, then yeah, I'm totally serious. It's Schrodinger's endorsement deal pitch is what I'm doing right here. It has been a minute, by which I mean about a month, since my last video, so I do apologize for that. But I wanted to catch you all up on what's been going on and use this piece to do it with. My last video posted was the kickoff to the series Austin and I did on our podcast, The Picture Show. And that was all about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, the series that we did through October. We covered all 7 films, one per episode, and to our surprise, we liked almost all of them. They're not The Godfather, they're not like, the canon of cinema, but they are really fun. They're cool concept slasher movies, and we had a good time with most of them. I will say there is only one that I think we just flat out did not like. So I encourage you to check out our episodes about them. We called our series Nightmare on 34th Street. In addition to Freddy movies, I watched a lot of the usual scary October fare. A bunch of them were my standards, like The Witch, Robert Eggers' The Witch, which I love that movie. I watched Drag Me to Hell. I watched Misery. I watched the It series. I watched a lot of stuff that we have watched for the show, for the picture show, in years past. But I also watched some old stuff that was new to me. I watched the 1979 Dracula adaptation the other day. It stars Frank Langella as Dracula. And that movie is bizarrely psychedelic and also a pretty straightforward adaptation. And I will say, unlike a lot of Dracula adaptations, it's paced pretty quick without being too fast. It's like it's under 2 hours, and it tells the Dracula story in a really competent way. I also saw Joe Dante's werewolf movie, The Howling, for the first time ever, and I thought that was also really fun, as Joe Dante's stuff often is. Finally, for movies, in addition to that, and a whole lot more, my wife and I got the chance to see the original Halloween in the theater just a few days before actual Halloween. So it was the last week of October. It was so much fun to see that classic up on the big screen. And you can finally see like all these details of every frame, and you can see them like really clear. Like, I had no idea that Tommy was reading Howard the Duck comics, but that's sitting right there next to him on the couch. It's really cool. You see a lot of detail that you just otherwise miss in that movie, and it's cool to watch something that you've seen so many times and to just start noticing little things like that. You can even see the limitations of the low budget. You kind of see the seams, and you see where things weren't quite right. You notice a lot more how dark that movie is because they just couldn't afford like good lighting. Um, so that also, I think, just cast a whole other appreciation for me onto that movie, where it's like it really, seeing it big really reinforces like how small the budget is of that movie, and it makes you appreciate like they made this really effective, just classic horror movie for almost no money, and just a couple of sets. It's so effective. It's so cool. And every once in a while, seeing an old movie that I've seen a whole bunch of times and seeing it on the big screen, it does give you a real sort of appreciation for that movie all over again. It also, in that case, in the case of something like Halloween that existed, of course, things would be shown on TV, but that existed before home video, before home video was common. So you're seeing something really, truly in the format that it was meant to be seen on. This isn't like today when things are made for Netflix, or things are made with the thought of like, this will play in theaters for a couple weeks and then people will watch it at home. This is from a time when things were made to be seen in theaters. And I think that's really cool when you can do that. If you ever get the chance to see it on the big screen, I recommend it wholeheartedly. The film remains a classic. I watch it every year. It's an absolute banger, and sort of like the granddaddy of the modern slasher. I think it's a brilliant. It's a horror masterpiece, undoubtedly. Finally, I will get down to what I am inking here, because there was another happening in our orbit in October. My oldest son, Lane, and his wife and their son, who have lived with us for the past couple of years, they got a place a little ways north of us, and they moved out of our house. It's very great. They have an awesome condo up north. It's closer to where my son works, and they've really set up a beautiful home up there. We're so happy for them. But it's a significant event because, for one, this marks the first time in my and my wife's time together that we are empty nesters. We've never lived together without kids. So this is new territory for us, and we're discovering that yes, we actually do enjoy each other's company, and that's a good thing, and very much an upside to this event. The downside is in how much we do miss the kids being here. They're still close enough to visit every so often, and we love the area they now live in. But we really enjoyed them living with us for the period where they moved back. We had been very lucky to have found a living situation where we had the room in our place to where everybody could live sort of independently and have their own life and their own living space within our house. We were still able to see and interact with them every day, especially our grandson, Leo. Leo is 2. He's been here since birth, and we just have loved having him here. He and I had a lot of bonding time, and some of my interests have become his interests. And I think that might mean that I have the personality of a 2-year-old, but, it is what it is. Leo likes to draw with me. He's fascinated with guitars, and he loves to play records, which is what inspired this piece. Since they've moved out, I don't have anyone to pull all my records off the shelf and beg me to play them. Leo loves Creedence Clearwater Revival, and he loves the Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms album. especially. And because I miss my record buddy so much, I decided to draw him listening to those albums in an homage to a classic ad for Maxell cassette tapes that those of you of a certain age will no doubt remember and recognize that I'm doing here. This was a lot of fun to draw and to make a reminder of all the good times I've had and will continue to have with Leo, all while embracing this new chapter of my life. I realize I'm speaking quite lofty about what most of you will see as a bizarre commercial parody, but to me, that's what this piece represents. I drew this pretty soon after they moved out. I might have even started it beforehand during the moving process, but yeah, that's what this piece means to me, and I had a lot of fun. Making it. That's going to do it for me this time. Please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so you never miss a video. And go to philrudeart.com and see what I've got going on over there. And subscribe to my blog under the News and Such tab to keep yourself up to date. I've got some things planned. So some stuff will be happening over at my website. Make sure you check it out. Anyway, until we meet again, take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you soon.